this is Steph reporting to you for Dates and Cakes, and today's episode, we are going to be making Slutty Brownies, because they can't just be one dessert, they have to be 3 in one. That's right, uno, dos, tres. So, a bottom of cookie dough, Oreo layer, birthday cake, and homemade brownies on top. There was this guy that was pretty appealing, but not my type at all. He was kind of a pretty boy, and I don't really date pretty boys. But I figured, you know what, I probably should change it up a little bit. He was pretty into me, so I was like, all right, let's try. And I just kept, I don't know, with our conversations, I was just kind of like, But yeah, so I proceeded to date him. Right before going out, he messaged me and like commented on one of my pictures when I was going out and said, oh, I'm kind of jealous. So you have a good body from that picture, and I'm kind of jealous of the guys that get to see you in real life tonight. I can't wait for you to dress up for me when we go on our date. I was like, oh, like, he's like, yeah, I just hope that guys don't get to make their move before I do or something like that. And I thought it was innocent. Gullible Stephanie, what's that? Oh, Gullible written on the ceiling again. Like, dressed nice, but like looked a little flamboyant to me. It looked like one of my sassy gay friends that I have, so that was a little bit weird. And then he kind of just talked about himself the whole time, and was just super turn off, especially when it's like all about like pride stuff. I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't really good at baseball, and I was like, oh, I love softball. I was like, I wasn't good at it either. Oh, I was great at softball. Okay, dude. But not good at hardball, because we proceeded to the restaurant, and he followed me in my car because he let me pick the restaurant. Very sweet. But then he said, but then he hugged me after we got out of the car, and I'm a hugger, so that's fine. I might have initiated the hug, actually. I probably did. And he grabbed my ass. And I was like, I was in so much shock that I didn't end the date right then, which looking at it now, hindsight, obviously. And there's salt in here, so that's why, dumped that. Looking at it now, I was like, gosh, I should have, or even right after the date, I was like, why didn't I go home then? Because it escalates, I promise. So it starts with that, and I was like, excuse me, that's mine. And he was like, and that was it. And so then we went to the date. It was hibachi, so there was other people at the table, and thank God there was other people at the table, because every time he would open his mouth, I wanted to scream. I was like, you are like, there's like, you're in a group of like strangers, and there's one awkward person that says things that you're just like, why is he talking about like snake juice? Like, I'm so confused. Unless it's Parks, then it's okay.
So then he made this awkward comment about how they should pay for his tips since he had to pay for my meal. And I just couldn't wait to get out of there. So then we go to the parking lot, and he goes in for a kiss, and I felt like I was being surprised by a water fountain. And then he decided to grab my ass, the whole cheek in his hand. The whole cheek. And if that wasn't enough, his response was, he said, well, your ass shouldn't be so grabbable. There were cops in the parking lot, and they should have been patrolling that ass.
I'm just livid, and I'm just like, but I'm also in shock, so I'm just like, because I thought this one was going to be different because I was going outside of my... And then right before the date, he messaged my best friend, because that's how he met me. It was through her Snapchat, long story. Anyway, so he even messaged her and said, thank you so much, like, for, like, connecting us, like, blah, blah. I'm so excited. And she was like, she even said, just be respectful. It gets real old when guys make it all about sex. And he was like, yeah, I know. So grabbing it... And so then she confronted him about it, because I came home, and I'll be honest, I was in tears. And I'm not, because guys don't understand, like, what that does. I already used this one. Guys don't understand, like, that brings back, I'm not trying to, like, make this a Me Too thing, but, like, it brings back to every guy that has ever touched you without your permission. Every single one. And there's been 6 now. So some got further than others. Some, like, cost a lot more tears and therapy than others, but like that is just unacceptable. I mean, I'm not really measuring this anyway, so I don't know why I'm pouring it into a separate cup. It says Hershey's chocolate, but why not use liquid courage chocolate? Because sometimes you need courage to move on, because that shit was awful. Anyway, also I took a quick poll of some of my guy friends, because I was like, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I like sent some messages that I shouldn't have sent. The only message I could think of like I said, the conversation at the dinner table was very uncomfortable. So we were holding hands under the table, and I did rest my hand on his knee. So maybe that's too suggestive. I wasn't like doing this number. So I don't know. I don't know. I just hope someone else doesn't have to feel this way, because like that was, and the way that he reacted to it, I was like, oh, he's done this before. Like, this is a thing. But yeah, the pull of not all, but a couple of my guy friends that I pulled, they were all like, honestly, like, no matter what you did with your hands, that's still not respectful. Like, I try really hard not to lump all guys in the same category, but it's hard when each guy is a different track of a Nickelback's CD. Like, they're all the same. You're like, this is, wow, I've heard this. Oh, I'm on track 7. I thought I was still on 1. Thought it was like just a long interlude or something. We're ready anyway. Moral of the story is,
Bitches ain't shit.
and they can't say nothing. I mean,
I don't think you're allowed to touch
Slutty Brownies. Yeah, you are. Slutty Brownies, I guess, are just, let's see how,